2023 4-inch black and white CRT monitor. It feels weird saying that. Here it is. 12 volt, 4.2 watt, micro 4-inch CRT. Black and white monitor, vintage CRT screen, electronic picture tube. And let's zoom in on this right here. Let's see how close we can get in on that with the little star. Should we go a little bit closer? Oh, we can get that full screen. That's nice. Anyway, I saw this on AliExpress and it was $9. $9. Now keep in mind, it's a monitor. It is not a TV. So I'm assuming it's just a power input and a composite input. No tuner, no audio, nothing. So here's one for $18. But they are all over the place. It is not sponsored. I bought it because I thought everybody would like to see a modern CRT. Now, this is not the type of CRT that you're used to seeing with the gun assembly in the back and it shoots straight out. This CRT is like one of these. Same style. And in fact, Sony made one of these Watchmans that was this size, and I have one and I can't find it. So these are abundant. It is a modern CRT, if you want to call it that. There must have been a bunch of these made for something and they didn't use them, so they're selling them off. But they are everywhere. They're abundant. And there's, if you look at the pages, they say 500 sold, 1,000 sold. So there's no information, no schematics, no instructions on how to hook it up. Is that brightness and contrast? I would assume that's what that is. So it has a flyback. It has a high voltage cup. It has a yoke. It has a neck. It does have centering magnets here. At least I think that's what these are. These little gear-like things are centering magnets. It's got a neck. It's got a socket. I guess this is going to be... We'll have to figure this out. Let's get in close and look at it. It does look a little beat down. That screw looks a little roached. It just looks used. I don't know. It's a little rusty and corroded. Okay, what do we have here? Fairchild 7810. So that's a 10 volt linear regulator. And then we have pots in here, and they are labeled. I don't know if I can try and zoom in enough on that. Vertical hold. Vertical size. And then we do have an integrated circuit right here. This is probably just a deflection. Let me see if I can get a number off of that. That's probably your horizontal and vertical. It is hard to read that, but it looks like it says LA 7806. Oh yes, let's go with the AI overview because it's always accurate. Multifunction integrated circuit designed for use in synchronization and deflection circuits of monochromatic television sets. So there you go. 16-pin dip package. So it's all there. It's a glass CRT, flyback, yoke. Looks like it's even got the little suppressor capacitors. I don't know what that pot's for. It's got a lot of pots, a lot of adjustments. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We got horizontal size and sub brightness. God, those pots just like look like they've been beaten down with a screwdriver. This thing's new, really? Okay, so I'm following this flat cable that comes in. So the two in the center are obviously ground. This one must be power because it comes to a fuse. And sorry, this is shaky. I'm trying. So from the fuse, it comes across the fuse, and then it's got a little filter capacitor. Look at that soldering. God, that's horrible. And then from there, it works its way up here to the input of the 7810. So I'm assuming we're going to go with 12 volts. Here, the center is ground, and this would be our video in. Now, I don't know if it really matters if it's PAL or NTSC. Because it's a monitor, you would just be adjusting the vertical and horizontal hold to sync it up. God, the soldering on this thing. Look at that. Looks like someone soldered some of this with a torch. Look at that. Is that really... Is that actually really? Wow, that's bad. I don't know. It's all there, whatever that's worth. There's the flyback right there. Wonder where the horizontal output transistor is. Looks like these screws were put in with an impact driver. Pretty crude. All right, here we go. We got 12 volts here. Gonna hook this up. Here we go. Power is applied. Let's see what happens. Ooh. Wow, well that is considerably bright. It is a dark cathode. So it probably will last a long time. This probably get a lot of hours. Wow, it's full deflection. I'm sure these were made for some type of display. And they stopped using them and there's just a million of them on the surplus market. But hey, if you want a CRT to play with, a modern... This was labeled as 2023, so a couple years old. We will try these. I want to see. The difference is these have a tuner and the audio section in them. Wow. That's bright. Okay, this is the VG91. I'm just coming out of the standard video output. Let's do Windows Circle here. Let's try Windows Circle. Okay, so it needs the vertical hold adjusted. It's probably adjusted for PAL. All right, so here's vertical hold right here. Wow, that's interesting. That's all the way at one end of its range. Like I'm all the way at the end. It looks kind of fuzzy almost. and it's shifted up. Time to just start turning all these and see what we get. Oh, okay, that's like a... Okay, what is this one? I don't know what that is. What is this? Oh, there we go. That's vertical centering. There we go. It's kind of fuzzy. I could... Okay, how about let's turn this one here. Let's see what this one is. Okay, that's like a brightness or a high voltage control. What is this one here? Okay, that's horizontal width. Okay, what is this one right here? Just keep turning all of them until we get it. Oh, that must be horizontal hold. It is not clear. The focus is bad down at the bottom and the top. It looks like it's vibrating really fast. Maybe there's some 60 hertz hum getting into this. It is not... It is not a clear image. You can really see it there. Well, the bandwidth is all the way there, that's for sure, because you're dealing with composite video. I don't know, this vibration, this blurriness to it kind of kills it. Okay, so if I turn the sub brightness down, this brightness control seems to have very limited effect. But if I turn the sub brightness down, I can clean it up. But then I'm too damn dark. Yeah, I'm having trouble. So if you adjust this to where it should be adjusted, then it's blurry. Let me feed the DirecTV box into it. Okay. Turn the sub brightness down a little bit. It's blanking. It's not, doesn't look. Okay, let me find a crepe erase ad. Trying to find something here that will not be on the copyright. How about this? Color Crush Jewelry. So, it actually looks a lot better in person than it does on the camera here. It looks good. It's clear. I think it could be a little bit sharper, but overall it's clear. The geometry is fair. I wouldn't say it's great. I'm trying to adjust it so it looks in the camera what it looks like to my eye. And it looks much better to my eye than it does in the camera. It's much sharper and has much more contrast. And I know my focus is good here. It's a power buy. It's bright. It's new, that's for sure. It's a new tube. Yeah, this is called Bright Ideas with Sandra. You can see down here in the corner there's a little bit of a geometry issue. It is still a little soft. I have no idea what kind of junk we're looking at, what they're trying to sell. Get some video of the dark cathode. It's probably a 12-volt filament, and they're running it on 10 volts. Okay, this show is called Freedom from Tanks Oxygen. Freedom from Oxygen Tanks. It's even more provocative without any sound. So anyway, I think that's about as much as I can really show with this thing. It's a modern CRT monitor. So let's try and fire these up. And VHF, UHF. Like I say, there was a bigger one. There was one of these made that's this size, or maybe a little bit smaller. Well, that's interesting. Guess my hands are magnetic or something. Anyway, yeah, let's try and fire these up. They run on... I don't know if they work. They probably need to be recapped. Looks like it runs on 6 volts. Wait a second. Hold on. I'm being low IQ. This is 9 volts. Or like 9.4 volts. I need 12 volts. This is 369. 9.9 volts. So I'm a little low. Okay, now I'm on a full 12 volts. And it's still a little bit soft. It costs $9. What should I expect?
And my heart was really pounding.
I got it hooked to the DirecTV box right here.
The good news is I don't think it's your heart. The bad news is I think it's your lungs. When I was first prescribed for oxygen, I sat on the couch and said, how am I going to live my life now? And seeing myself in the mirror with a tank, I just didn't want to look that sick. And Inogen means freedom to me. Without my Inogen, I'd be sitting down on the sidelines watching somebody else do the
Again, it looks washed out in the video camera, but it does not look washed out. To me, it looks great.
I've done with my Inogen is walk a 5K. People with my disease don't walk 5Ks. I posted it on Facebook, and people said, "How could you do that with pulmonary hypertension?" I said, "This is how." Without my Inogen, I probably would be stuck in the house.
You've been prescribed oxygen. You know the problem.
There's literally no adjustments I can get to on this, so you're just going to have to take my word for it that it's a really good picture.
Now, don't manage a heavy tank when you leave the house. With Inogen, you can get the oxygen you need with a system that's so small and light.
Wonder if I can go into the camera and adjust the sensitivity down. Yeah, there we go.
Oxygen you need. Our lightest model weighs around 3 pounds and is less than 8 inches tall.
In and go. This goes in any of the outlets.
Okay, I turned the ISO way down.
Super easy.
So
Our longest-lasting Inogen model delivers up to 12 hours of oxygen on a single battery charge. And all Inogen models meet FAA requirements for air travel, so you can get back to living your life.
You're only going to get a couple of hours out of a tank. With an Inogen, there's no worry about running out.
I do not have to worry, am I going to be out of oxygen? I have 10 hours worth of battery life.
think she
Where can
needs
I
another
go?
cigarette.
Yeah, imagine how.
I took a 10-day, 3,000-mile road trip with my trusty Inogen. I always call it my trusty Inogen. I do trust it.
This gives me the oxygen that the doctor prescribed for me.
Over 1 million Inogen systems have helped oxygen users get out of the house and leave their tanks behind. You can too. And right to leave the house without heavy tanks when you try an Inogen for 30 days risk-free. So give us a call and talk to one of our highly trained oxygen specialists. Try an Inogen system of your very own for 30 days risk-free. Your insurance may even cover your new Inogen system. Call and talk to one of our oxygen specialists.
Wow, that thing works
We'll answer
good.
all your questions. Inogen is oxygen therapy that moves.
Should we try this one?
Inogen was the best decision I made. Pick up the phone.
Might as well.
Call the Inogen company.
So no, this one doesn't work. It just makes a popping sound when I connect power to it. So no, I'm not going to try and repair it. The thing is so small and so tight. So the one that works, the LA Rams one, does not have, well, maybe that's a brightness adjustment right there. But this one, the one that does not work, has brightness and something else, an external brightness adjustment. And this one has a contrast adjustment that this one does not have. So interesting. I mean, you know, people would take these to the ball game, I guess. I don't know. If you bought so many tickets, they'd give you one of these. I know these weren't cheap. So I'd like to find the bigger one. The bigger one of the Watchmans that's this size. But I don't know where it is. It almost looks like this. The face piece of glass is glued on with like a silicone type substance. That's pretty good. It's pretty good to have a flat, that must be a pretty thick piece of glass to have that much vacuum. I mean, this theoretically, this is a high vacuum tube, like any tube. And to have just a 4-inch flat piece of glass like that, that's pretty impressive. I wonder how thick that thing is. A centimeter thick? I mean, it doesn't look that thick, but there's a hell of a lot of pressure pushing in on that. Anyway, I think it is glued. The front piece of glass is glued to the rest of it. Anyway, I realize this is a little bit different type of a video for this channel, but a modern CRT for between $9 and $20, how could I pass that by? I mean, we got to get that and check it out, right? It is interesting. And it, like I said, it must be surplus from something. And they just decided to sell it off to the CRT lovers of the world. Okay, so one last thing. You know, we got to do it. We got to see what the high voltage is. And it looks like it's about 6,600 volts. So 6.6 kilovolts. Maybe a little bit more because I'm back on the 10 volts.